Well, hello again, and let's get right to it with Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 5 through 10. This is for the sixth Sunday in Epiphany. And I'd like you to have a text in front of you, preferably the NRSV. If you're looking at that, in fact, if you want to push the pause button, do that. You may be well saying to yourself, you know what? This sounds a lot like Proverbs or the Psalms or something like that. And there is a reason why that is the case. You see, both the prophets and the wisdom speakers are going from human observation and experience. They're keen observers of life around them, of the planet around them, of the weather and the rocks and the stars, and the animals, and the human animals, how people behave, and what that is all about. And that kind of power of observation fuels their ability to use these marvelous, marvelous sayings and predictions. And it is a kind of a prediction. It's easy to misread this statement from Jeremiah. It looks like Yahweh is the one doing the cursing and the blessing. But no, much like the wisdom literature or like Proverbs, this means those who live this way find themselves cursed, and those who live this way find themselves blessed. And I want to say something else in general before we look at some of the specifics. You will see that this passage is almost entirely about the notion of trust. Now, I'm just going to pause for a moment and remind us that what is happening in our world today is fundamentally about trust. And specifically, the breakdowns that we find so excruciating in our contemporary life are around the failure to trust and the divisions that are created by the failure to trust. And this reading from Jeremiah, the reason I'm focusing on this instead of that wonderful story in Luke, which I love, letting down the ill person through the rooftop so that Jesus can, with compassion, deal with him. I chose this instead because of this serious, serious issue of trust. What Jeremiah says is that this is simple, but again, not easy. If you live as to trusting only in your own wisdom or what you think you know or what you have available of a kind of power or influence or skill or understanding, if you live that way, if you trust only in that, you will find your life cursed. And later on in this passage, he'll describe what happens. You will find at your middle life that it's all flat, and you'll find at the end of your life that your trust has been betrayed. But then comes the thing we call the barach, the blessing. How is it better to live? And how it is better to live is to live in trust in Yahweh. In fact, the center point of this, in my understanding, is a place where Jeremiah creates what we call a chiasmus. It's a balanced statement. And it's almost like building up a castle of words with perfect symmetry. So you begin by saying blessed, and then Yahweh, and then the verb to be, and then Yahweh, and then blessed, you see. So it stacks itself up. This is the kind of thing that happens often in the Psalms. This is a Hebraic way of saying, this is the core. The way to live a perfectly balanced life is to begin with trust in Yahweh, which is a being that creates Yahweh in whom it is worthy to be trusted. What's the handle on this? Is this a privatized kind of trust? Is that all you have to do is just sit alone, let the world crumble around you, and simply say, well, I'm trusting in God. Jeremiah solves this in an interesting way. At the very end of this, he has this marvelous statement about how deceitful our own understandings can be. And he uses that Hebrew word lav, or heart, again and again. And even kidneys, which are Hebraic understandings for the parts of the mind, how it works. What Jeremiah says that is the final solution to how we put handles on trust is that, remember, it is only Yahweh, it is only God who sees accurately the heart and mind of humans. And what is it that Yahweh is looking for? One thing only: the fruits of what one does. There is a point for us to ponder. In the failures of trust that are taking place all around us, and the seriousness that that poses for us as a nation, Jeremiah's response is, Yahweh is reading. And you can read. If you read hearts and minds, as Yahweh does, what are you looking for? It's the fruit of what is actually done. Because it's only actions that can be analyzed, regarded, sifted, weighed, evaluated. This is, as always in Jeremiah, not easy to comprehend, but worthy of thought. Well, it has absolutely dominated my days and a few nights, I will tell you, looking at Jeremiah. Read it again. Think about it. Spend some time thinking about Jeremiah's understanding of trust. I really look forward to talking to you once every week. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me, and I'll see you next time.